Okay, thank you. We want to welcome all of you to the JohnMayaki Show today. We will be looking at a very interesting topic on this show today. The topic for today, among other issues we're going to be discussing, is Abacha, Sani Abacha, maximum ruler. The topic is Abacha, dead but alive. Abacha is alive, but he's dead, but he's alive. I've just seen some other military rulers, a lot of politicians, great politicians who are dead, but nobody hears them anymore. They just die and they go, or they go, nothing happens. But today, if there's anybody we still remember, in fact, the highest revenue generator for Nigeria is Sani Abacha. Highest revenue generator for Nigeria. So we're going to be discussing him today. We're going to be discussing how several countries in America, we got sometimes in 1998, we got $750 million Abacha's loot. 1998, yeah, thereabouts. In 2000, year 2000, we got $64 million Abacha's loot. Dead but alive. Abacha is alive. Who else can do this? If Abacha was to be your dad, how will you feel? I'm sure you'll be proud. My dad has got money, he's dead, but we still enjoy his loot. Nigeria is feeding through my father's loot. Unfortunately, Abacha is not my dad. Nevertheless, if Abacha were to be your dad, well, how will you feel? Assuming Abacha were to be alive, will anybody ask him for all of this money? If you prosecute him and you do plea bargain, will you get as much as this? I'm not sure you will get. In 2003, we got $160 million from New Jersey, in United States of America, New Jersey. In 2023, thereabout, yeah, we got $88 million from Switzerland. We got that from Switzerland. And in 2020, we got another $1.2 billion. Abacha's loot. Abacha is dead but alive. So whenever Nigeria is broke and you think of Abacha, you get some money. You know, I mean, don't you think that is a very... In fact, some people want to name their children Abacha so that, you know, it's a money spinner, an ATM, Nigeria's ATM. Very, very, very interesting. Nigeria is broke. Nigeria Port Authority is generating this. And no, just get Abacha and then you get some money. You can get a lot. Hey, look, in Switzerland again, in 2005, yeah, in Switzerland, Nigeria got about $641.3 million again in Switzerland. Maybe in dollars, huge sums of money. Even, tell me, which ministry can generate all of this? Abacha, look. But if Abacha were to be alive, military destroyed this country. The military destroyed this country. The military, but I mean, how many people can tell the military, ex-military president today, to their face, that they destroyed this country? None of them. Okay, Abacha, military destroyed this country. Abacha's loot is helping this country today, isn't it? It's quite interesting. The other day we discussed animals, how they have been looting us dead and looting us blind. Today, Abacha is helping us. Abacha's loot is here to help us. Nigeria is broke, but we thank God for Abacha's loot. Leave Switzerland, go to Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein in 2014 gave us $227 million. If you convert all of this, unfortunately, look, sometimes I ask, how do we convert this money? Is it through the black market trade? Because if some of us want to get dollar, we go to black market. Can we also get this money converted in black market so that it can be more? Look, if you go to CBN conversion, we won't get as much as those of us who go to black market to convert money. I think we need to also look at that. I mean, look, you can go on and on and on. In America again, in 2022, in America again, I mean, the recent one, before we go to the recent one, in the same America, we got $311.7 million from America in 2022, no, 2020, in 2020. In 2018, we got $322 million from Switzerland again. But in a recent one, we got $23 million from America. Abacha is dead, but Abacha is alive. We are going to be joined by our in-house analyst. But before I bring him in, don't forget, apart from Abacha being dead alive, these monies, the recent one, we understand, is going to go into some major projects. The executive sat down with some representative from America and they said, okay, Abuja to Kano, Lagos to Ibadan, and the second Niger Bridge. These are the major projects. They don't even need the House of Reps, the Senate appropriation. They don't need them. They just tell you what they... Don't forget that these projects have been ongoing. These projects they want to spend this money on have been ongoing. These are projects that has been appropriated for in the budget. But we got this money and our leaders try to... Are they planning to reloot it? We're going to look at those. Have they recovered loot to be relooted? We will get to know all of those. And so we need to know the historical background behind the Niger Bridge, the second Niger Bridge. We'll look at all of those, and we'll look at the Shettima's angle to why he wore sneakers. I mean, Shettima is it's interesting now that in a bid to damage control what has happened, he now told us that Jimovia is his leader, and as a great banker, he discovered that they planned him. After the planning, he decided to wear sneakers there. I mean, to douse the tension, to kill the plan. And whatever it is, I don't understand what Shettima. I mean, it doesn't make any meaning to anybody anyway. The meeting between Wike and three other, there are some of these governors, the Benue, the Oyo, the Ipiazu, and one other one, Iguanyi or so. Are they PA to River State governor? We don't understand. They keep junketing from France to UK, from the other day it was in Turkey. It's okay, it's good, but they cannot. I mean, Nigeria is okay for them to discuss whatever they want to discuss. Whatever you discuss abroad, you are coming here to implement it. Why not just stay in one corner in the village somewhere and discuss? If you don't want to stay in the village, just go to the best hotel in Abuja, wherever it is, and you discuss. And why running to UK? Why Turkey? Why France? It's not necessary. Those are some of those issues. What about the hot exchange between Wike and Lamido? We're going to look at it. How Lamido, Babangida Aliyu of Niger State, they've been trying to sabotage the effort of the PDP presidential candidate. This afternoon, I'm being joined by our in-house analyst, the only comrade, Idris Zekeri Jr. Idris, you're welcome to the show. Hello, Idris.
Thank you so much, Bishop. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay. Am I loud and clear?
Very well.
Okay. So it's an absolute delight to be here today.
Yeah.
To be on this program. It's a joy, and it's another opportunity to engage with the issues with the sole intent of adding value to society and conscientizing our people.
Thank you. Thank you. Idris, if you're watching us anywhere on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, please, the phone number to call are also displayed. Call us and share your thought with us. Idris, tell us something about this second Niger Bridge.
Well, it's one of those projects that has been used to deceive Nigerians for a very long time. And for the first time in many years, it is beginning to be at an acceptable price. But the important thing is that the bridge is coming on stream. You remember that since the turn of democracy, I prefer to talk about the nine. I am not so interested in what the military guys did. Actually, I'd like to concentrate my discussion on Nigeria since 1999. Because a child who was born in 1999, since the People's Democracy, the Fourth Republic, by now, that child is already born years, 20,000 years. So that means that a child who at 24, you should have organized your life so much and start making progress along that. We had independence in 1999. the Obasanjo administration came and pretended that like they wanted to do that bridge, they did ground breaking. They also said about the bridge. Unfortunately, his administration was short-lived. All lies, they didn't do it. Then came the administration of Goodluck Jonathan, who is a son of the soil, a Bayelsa indigene. He spent 6 years in office and only went to do groundbreaking for Second Niger Bridge few months to the election that eventually threw him out of office. All lies. So you see, they have persistently lied about it up until now. It's just now that this present administration, credit to them, although there are so many other things, we don't have so many good things to say about the administration, but this is one of those very few good things you have to say, that they have started, they have persisted, and it looks like they are going to complete it at the end of the day. They are also going to put toll gates, so it is not Uhuru yet for Nigerians. Nigerians will be driving that so they are going to recover the monies they have spent on that bridge. It is said, according to the documents in the ministry, that the bridge initial sum 205 billion. Now, again, let me quickly backtrack. Why take an administration 8 years to build a project of 205 billion? If you divide 200 billion to 8 years, that is 25 billion a year. It then means that they were allocating 25 billion every year for 8 years only to achieve Second Niger Bridge, which is a disgrace. That bridge should not take more than 2-3 years if we have a serious administration in place. There is a bridge that connects Russia with Crimea. It was built within 2 years, and it's a far longer bridge, a far bigger bridge than the Second Niger Bridge. It was built at a cost of over $5 billion. Ours is less than $500 million, and we have struggled to build it for 5 years. It tells you a lot about those in power and their attitude towards work. But kudos to the administration. They've achieved what all the other administrations have lied about. So give them kudos.
Okay, Abacha is alive, but Abacha is late. Abacha is dead, but Abacha is alive. What do you make of that?
like you very intelligently curated and postulated about the history of the return of the Abacha loot, right? From 1998 or 97, I'm not sure.
98.
But right from 1999,
98.
He has persistently been paying into our national treasury to keep the Nigerian body and soul together. The first money that I think that was received from the Abacha was about $700 million that was given to the Obasanjo administration in 2006. Now, before I continue, there are two types of looters. There is the ancient looter and there is the modern looter. I will explain. Abacha is a prime ancient looter. It is said that he looted at about $3.3 billion. But the unique thing about the Abacha loot is that having spent they are now beginning to pay us in installments, and the money is coming back to help Nigerians. But the type of looters that you and I have to be worried about, and indeed Nigerians have to be worried about, are the modern looters. I'll give you a definition of the modern looters by giving you an example. I give you an example. Around 2002, the President Olusegun Obasanjo, set up a committee which he called the National Council on Privatization. He put... Am I on?
Yes, you are back. You are back. Hello? Hello, Idris? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, go ahead. Okay, so between the Americans, between the UK, between the European, who is the looter? If you if you see the looter, the Nigerian man, who brings money into your bank and you accommodated it, and tomorrow you say Africa is corrupt, who is more corrupt between Nigeria and the European world? Hello, Idris. Seems your network is freezing. If you're there watching us, please connect with us, call us on our lines. They are open. Both of the lines are there. Call us and share your thought with us. Abacha is dead, but Abacha is alive. Abacha is alive. We keep getting money from him. Abacha has become our treasury. Abacha has become our ATM. Hello, Idris. Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello, Idris. If you can hear me, go ahead. Okay, so Abacha is alive? Yes. But the question again is, if, for instance, Abacha is your dad. Yeah. Hello, Idris.
Yes, I'm on now.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead with your explanation.
Okay. So, just to recap, like I told you, there are two types of looters. There are the ancient looters and there are the modern looters. Abacha is the zenith. It's like the godfather of the ancient looters. But what you and I should be worried about are the modern looters. And I said I'm going to define the modern looters to you by example. There's definition by example. So like I said, in 2002, the then President Olusegun Obasanjo set up a committee called National Council on Privatization. The job of that committee was to, among other things, the assets, national assets of Nigeria, to put them in private hands, to sell them to private individuals and make them profitable for the Nigerian state. Among some of those assets are the Ascon in Ikota Abasi. Ascon is Aluminium Smelting Company of Nigeria. There was the Delta Steel Company Alaja in Warri. There was the Aluminium Steel Company in Lokoja. There was another company in Oshun. There is the Port Harcourt Refinery. There is the Kaduna Refinery. There is the Warri Refinery. So most of these assets were sold for cheap. Let me give you an example of one of those assets. Ascon, that was built for $3.5 billion by the military, was sold for 350 million. 3.5 billion was sold for 350 million. And the 350 million was not even paid. They paid Nigerian government 120 million, and the other 150 million was given back to the company to use to better his business. That's the whole idea behind it. Now, that's to explain to you how much people are looting in the modern era. You also are aware very recently of a man who looted 109 billion, the Accountant General of the Federation. Just to quickly go back, the head of that National Council on Privatization, Saluto, is Atiku Abubakar, the present candidate of the People's Democratic Party. So you see on both sides, both on the two political parties that have led Nigeria since 1999, the APC and the PDP, have aggregated themselves into modern looters that if Abacha looks back at them today, he's going to be heartbroken because what he did is a drop in the ocean compared to what the modern looters are doing. So we should be worried about the modern looters and continue to thank Abacha that in our time of need, he has been a national ATM that we always run to withdraw when there are financial difficulties.
Thank you. Wonderful. That's fantastic. If you are there watching us, call us on our lines and give us your contribution. How will you describe a situation where people say, oh, Nigeria is backward because of the military interregnum. Nigeria is backward because military rule, they destroyed a lot of things in this country. What about the present looting? From 1999 to date, this country has not moved forward.
Oh, at all. It's easy to see. In fact, I think we made more progress during the time of the military than we are doing in this civilian area. That's why I have categorized the two political parties that have led us in this democratic era as the demonic duopoly. Now, if you think back, you will remember that the first Niger bridge was built during the military era. You will remember that most of our national roads were built during the military era. You will remember that most of our federal universities, the grade A universities we have today, were built either during the military era or during the colonial era. So the question you will ask yourself is 24 years of the Fourth Republic, what do we have to show? I will tell you what we have to show. More private jets for governors, tactical convoys for governors, medical tourism by president and governors, a champagne lifestyle by our president and governors, re-electing looters to public office. Now, the takeover of looters, because you see the primaries of the two political parties, as much as $25,000 per vote. And in 2023, I already have feelers that as much as 15,000, 20,000 will be paid per vote. When they pay for that vote, they are going to loot for 4 years. And if, as a citizen, you sell your vote, it means you have exchanged your power for 5,000 naira a year for 4 years. So the modern looters are far more dangerous, are far more vicious, are far more open-handed, are far more dedicated, and are far more intelligent than the ancient looters. I can assure you that whereas the ancient looter, as represented by Abacha, is remitting money to us in today's Nigeria, the modern looters, they are looting for themselves, for their children, for their children's children, and for their children's children yet unborn.
Quite unfortunate, but that is foolishness, if you ask me. That is foolish. How much do you need to eat before you die? You don't need too much. In fact, if there's anything that kills quickly, that kills easily, is overfeeding. You know, overfeeding, yeah, it's overfeeding. You see, I've come to study, there's a study somewhere in the US that says, if you want to live longer, fast. You fast. I'm not talking of the fasting and praying. You starve yourself of food, and you do more of exercise, and maybe you eat once a day. So if you live such a lifestyle and you want to live longer, you don't need all of these acquisitions of. And when the person dies, the children fight over it. Some of them, they are not, they can't help themselves. They go to school, but they can't help themselves, except you put them in NNPC, you put them in CBN, you put them in wherever it is to work. Or that if you leave myself and the children of the rich man on the street of Abuja, on the street of Ring Road, on the street of Idumota, Lagos, they can't survive. These guys can't survive. What do you say? What do you make of that?
Even those that makes it to NNPC and CBN, they are the good side of the story. Most of them are into drugs. Most of them are into unthinkable things. Most of them are living a life of disgrace that even their parents are not proud. That's why politicians, people have always said, let politicians bring their children. Yeah. Politicians won't bring their children because there's nothing to bring. Most of their children, you saw recently when the former vice president and candidate of the PDP and his wife were fighting publicly for houses and cars. I mean, for houses and cars. The only job that the former vice president has done in Nigeria is as a custom officer. Where will a custom officer have money to build houses and cars?
I hear he was sacked. I hear he was sacked. Anyway, that will be.
That would be a discussion
for another day. Yes. Okay. Recently, was it today or yesterday, the vice presidential candidate? Okay, let's pick this call. We'll be back to you. Hello. All right. Okay, yesterday or this morning we saw a video saying that the vice presidential candidate of the APC, Kashim Shettima, said he decided to wear sneakers to the NBA convention just to mock them because he understands from security reports that a presidential candidate had planned they had some sinister plans against whoever, and so he decided to wear sneakers there because he just wanted to mock them. I mean, have you seen the video, Mr. Zekari?
Yes, I am. It's funny that he decided to wear sneakers to mock them. The first question is, who is them? As far as I'm concerned, those that invited into that occasion are members of the Nigerian Bar Association, elite lawyers of the country. So I wonder if he went there to mock the lawyers who invited him to give a speech on bonds transition. Secondly, like he said a certain presidential candidate met with certain members of the NBA in an unholy matrimony to plan to whether disgrace him or whatever the case may be. Whereas those people did not succeed in disgracing him, one thing that is very clear is that he succeeded in disgracing himself. Yeah. So the joke is on him. Wearing sneakers, he has again, whereas just 2 days ago they were telling us not to talk about sneakers and clothes and shoes. Today he has decided to by himself talk about sneakers and his suits and his very funny trousers. Let's talk a little about the mockery. Now, was he also planning to mock them when he sat down with his suit buttoned and having a tie that is almost like somebody who wants to commit suicide? I don't think that is not, you are not mocking the NBA. That is the joke is on him. I would have expected that as a former banker and as a man he is a very intelligent man. You have to give it to him. A man who is that intelligent who will, take a step back, let this blow past, let this hot air blow past, and then subsequently when he wants to come out, he will make sure that his coming out is top notch. We are not saying you should go and buy the most expensive shoes and suits, but you should make sure that he wears even the cheap one he had properly. Although they don't have cheap ones.
Okay, if you are there watching us on the JohnMayaki Show, please share with us your thoughts, call us, give us your contribution on the discussion. Number one, Abacha not dead but alive. Abacha dead but alive. The second one is on the second Niger bridge and the Abacha load. The other one is Shetima's claim on why he wore sneakers to NBA convention. Okay, Idris, let's leave there and quickly look at the presidential candidates of the major political parties trying to cut Wike around the country, around the world, majorly in the UK. What do you make of that?
I will look at it on two aspects: the political aspect and the moral aspect. For the political aspect, I think somehow Wike has made himself, he has been able to create a cult followership among himself that he even has governors now who are serving him as almost as senior special assistant. Like you mentioned, the governor of Oyo State, the governor of Abia State, that one is now permanently living in Port Harcourt, the governor of Benue State, and a few others, a number of other.
We didn't see Fayose there. Fayose, we didn't see him there this time.
No, he has been in the hospital. I think he's recovering from his back surgery.
Okay.
Now, so that is on the political side. And again, you see where it was rumored that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu went to pay him a visit. It was also, we saw pictures of Peter going to pay the visit alongside Olusegun Obasanjo, and we also had another picture of the former vice president and candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar.
Yeah, I'm sure network will be freezing at your end.
So, well, my network looks pretty good, but we are in Nigeria, anything is possible.
Yeah.
So, can you hear me loud?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. So, to what end are these political visitations? Only time will tell. So, we keep watching, we keep observing, and we keep looking and seeing the next step he has to take. However, on the moral side, it is a sin against God and man for state governors to abandon their primary responsibilities to their electorate, to citizens of their state. A state like Abia that does not have a single good road. The state, I served in Abia, I lived in Abia, I know Aba, I know Isialangwa, I know Isialangwa South, I know Isikwato, I know Bende local government, I know Aba North, I know Aba South. I know Umuahia, Abia, Aba. It's now like a desolate town. There are no infrastructure, there are no roads. For such a governor to be junketing around the world on taxpayers' money for frivolous political meetings, it shows the level of irresponsibility of those we elected and those we have put in power. The people of Abia State ought to by now be engaging their governor on why he should abandon responsibilities of state to be acting as an aide to a neighboring governor. A governor, whereas Wike has performance to show, internal rules to show, the governor of Abia has nothing to show, but is junketing around the world with yes on Wike because there's a free private jet. They can wake up now, not like me and you that will apply for visa. They have diplomatic visa. They can wake up today, board their private jet, and in 5 hours they are six months from now. What demand is give them that affords them the privilege of diplomatic visa. They are abusing it by junketing around the world, holding meetings that have no real bearing to the progress of people.
Okay. If you are there watching us, please call us and share your thoughts with us. Mr. Idris, let's take it from this angle. But let's take it from this angle. The Sule Lamido, former governor of Jigawa State, has said that Wike has no electoral value. I mean, he lambasted him, but Wike has also replied him. What do you think is wrong?
The former governor of Jigawa State, I think it is a disrespect to the people of the South and indeed the Niger Delta for him to be that arrogant about the candidacy of Atiku Abubakar. The only thing Atiku Abubakar has to do with Southerners is to continue to plead with them to South and no one else. This next election ought to be between Southern candidates and let Nigerians speak the best. Because having had 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari, returning power to another Fulani man is an insult to Nigerians. So for him to be that arrogant, I expected him to be more diplomatic, to be more persuasive, not abusive. Say a sitting governor of Rivers State who is said to have performed, saying he has no electoral value, is him kidding himself. Don't forget, in 2015, it was one of Buksad Atiku Abubakar who led governors out of the PDP to the APC. That is how the PDP lost the election in 2015. He is coming in 2023 to tell us that Wike has no value. Whereas it is the man Wike that has kept PDP together and kept PDP standing all these years, up until now, that they now have the PDP as a vehicle for them to achieve the ambition of Atiku Abubakar. Shame is on him. I don't want to say it's okay. How do you explain that?
Okay. I think we'll be taking that for the day. I just want to say history is likely to repeat itself. In 2015, we saw how some governors, about 5 of them, led a mutiny from the PDP to the APC. This time around, the way Rivers State governor is going, the Benue State governor, the Oyo State governor, and 2 other governors from the east. That is 5 of them now. We are waiting to see if they plan to leave the PDP or they stay in the PDP and work against the party. However, how they plan to also win their states is another thing that time will unveil. Idris Zakari, your final take.
My final take is that Nigerians should get their permanent voter card. 2023 is about life and death.
No, it's not about life and death. What do you? No. What do you-
It's about life and death now. Well, economic life and death. It's about economic life and death. Most Nigerians are almost dying of economic starvation. So it is about life and death. They should get their PVC. If you see the kind of seriousness that politicians are putting into the electoral process, it will be unfair if citizens do not put the same kind of seriousness into the electoral process. And that seriousness should show in electing the right candidate regardless of political parties and political affiliation and even ethnic affiliation.
Thank you. We want to say this is the much we can take for today, being weekend, so that we can leave you with this to ruminate till Monday when we come back your way. Thank you for those of you who attempted calling, but I'm sure something happened, we couldn't get you. Idris Zakari, want to appreciate your time. We will try to look at how to encourage the Nigerian government on G5 network so that we can 5G network so that we can enjoy free flow of internet bandwidth. We also want to appreciate you for your contribution on the JohnMayaki Show, and for those of you in the studio, we want to thank you for your commitment. This is the much we can take on the JohnMayaki Show today. Thank you and bye for now.